Hello and welcome back to the channel. I want to talk today about the Motorhome and Caravan Club travel insurance, and this is my story. First of all, thanks for watching the channel. If you've followed us in the past, you'll know that last year we went to France in the motorhome, and while I was at France I ended up having a heart attack. So I want to tell you, because a lot of people have been emailing me asking me how I'm feeling, how I'm going on, and I want to explain what's actually happened. Okay, well, let's start right at the very beginning. Before we decided to go on holiday, I started to get discomfort in my chest. Could have been COVID, could have been a chest infection, I don't really know. And I went to the doctors. Before I went to the doctors, which was in May, I actually have a 2-year body check where I have an ECG, I have all my bloods checked, I get checked for cancers and stuff like that, and that was in February. Everything come back clear, my ECG was clear. When I went to the doctors in May and I explained that I had this discomfort in my chest, he asked me questions about my parents, my mum, my dad. Have they suffered from blood pressure, angina or anything like that? And I did say that my dad used to suffer with angina. He then gave me a spray and said, this spray is if you need it, if you are out of breath or if you get chest pain, spray it under your tongue, and this is just in case you need it, and I think you may have angina. But what he did do, he said, we'll get you checked out with an ECG and I'll refer you to a specialist. Well, the day after I had an ECG and everything was clear, so that was 2 ECGs I've had, one in February, one in May now, and both were clear. And later on in the week, may have been the week after, I got a phone call from the hospital saying you don't need to attend, everything's fine. So obviously, as far as I'm concerned, that I'm all clear and I'm okay to go away. If I thought there was anything wrong at that point, to be honest with you, I would have spoke to the insurance company and said, look, I can't go because of, and I don't think I'd have put myself at jeopardy. I purchased the travel insurance with the Caravan Club after I'd seen the doctor, and I forgot to tell the insurance that he gave me a spray. Now, the way I see it is he gave me a spray just in case, but I had the all clear, and the spray was irrelevant really because it gave me the all clear before the policy started. So in my mind, you know, there was nothing wrong with me in that respect. I was all clear with all the results, so I was okay to travel. So we did travel. What happened was 2 weeks into the holiday, I did suffer a heart attack and had to have a stent implanted when I was in France. They were great, the French people were great, the hospitals were superb, and I can't fault them really. We don't know whether the heart attack was related to the chest issues. There has been talks about having the COVID jab causing people to have issues with the hearts and things like that. I'm not quite sure whether that had anything to do with it, because I'd recently had my booster, so I'm not too sure. As you recall, if you did watch my videos going to France, you would have noticed that I did some videos when I'd had the heart attack, and that was okay in the hospital, and I was being looked after very well. The insurance company at this stage was okay. They did cause me a bit of distress when they started saying to Kay that the cost of taxis and everything else was mounting up, and they were saying that we was only covered for so much, which, to be honest with you, we did get cheaper quotes for travel insurance, but I thought the Caravan and Motorhome insurance cover would have been the best. It was more expensive, but I thought that would have been the best for repatriation and everything else. And they wanted to send a doctor over and fly me home when I'd had the stent, because on the British website it said that you could drive after 7 days of having a stent. I didn't really want to leave my motorhome there. I decided to drive home. I was fine, I was great, you know, and at this point the hospital said that my heart was working at 33% and it had gone up to 44%. Bearing in mind, everybody's heart, or most people's heart, run at about 55%. So they was quite confident that everything was okay, and I was okay to drive, and I drove home. When I got home, this is another story. When I got home, I went to the doctors, my local GP, and I explained the situation. I said I'm running out of medication. I was on about 8 tablets, and I said to the doctor, you know, I don't know where to go from here. You know, I've come to see you to see where we. He said, don't worry about it. You need to take these 3 tablets. You've now got a stent in. Carry on as normal, etc., etc. You know, I went home. It played on my mind for some time. I actually phoned up the medical side of my medical screening that I had and explained how concerned I was. He then got in touch with the doctors, my GP. I then got 2 referrals to specialists, one private and one with the NHS. I decided to take the private one, and I went to see a cardiologist, a specialist in the field. He decided that I needed to have an echocardiogram, and also he decided that I needed to go on a treadmill test to make sure everything was working okay. So to my amazement, he called me in sooner than what I thought, and this was after the echocardiogram. I knew something wasn't quite right, and he said to me, your heart has gone back to 33%. And I said, is this because I'm not taking any medication? I've only got the 3 medications. He says it's quite possibly. He put me on the full medication, and after 6 months he sent me back for another echocardiogram, which again I paid for privately, and that came back and said it's improved to 37%. So I have a condition now called heart failure, that some of the heart isn't pumping properly, so it's not working properly, and this is due to lack of oxygen getting to that part of the heart when I'd had a heart attack. But my GP didn't put me on the right medication when I come up, so that's where I'm at with the state of play at the moment. Now, going back to the insurance company, they were great at the beginning. They had a couple of moans about a couple of costs, and I did make my own way home rather than them fly me home with a doctor. Now, since then, time has gone on. They've had a chance to check everything out, and they've now come back and said we're not paying out. Why are you not paying out? Why are you not covering the cost? Because you didn't tell us about the spray. But the spray wasn't required because I've been given the clearance from the specialist, from the doctor, from the ECGs, and the hospital didn't need to see me. So the spray is irrelevant. It was only there in case I needed it, but because I've been cleared, I don't need it, and that was before the actual policy started. I have appealed the decision, and it goes through to an appeal process, and this is through an insurance company, and they've obviously gone along with the Caravan Club, saying that the Caravan Club would not have sold me the policy if they'd have known that I'd been given a spray. But the Caravan Club also said that if I'd have gone to them afterwards and said, can I purchase this policy? I've been to the doctors, but I've had the all clearance, they would have sold me the policy. So I don't understand what the difference is, because the doctor cleared me right from day one of anything. They couldn't find anything, so he's cleared me. And the spray was precautionary before I had the test done. So the spray becomes irrelevant at that point. And they've sided with the Caravan Club. So my next move then was to go to the Ombudsman, which is, I took it to the Ombudsman, I wrote to the Ombudsman, and they've took it on board and they're looking at it. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up with you is that if you are getting travel insurance and you think the Caravan and Motorhome Club are the best and will look after you, in my case, it's not necessarily so. Maybe not. I should have told them about the spray. It completely went past my mind. I was in the clear. I didn't think I had to tell them. And to this day, I've not been diagnosed with angina at all. Whether it was related, my heart attack, to the chest condition, I really don't know. But beware, read everything, discuss the insurance with them if you've got any medical condition, because I am now fighting them to get the bill paid. Now, I have paid the bill myself, and to be honest with you, if you take the global health card with you, your government actually pay 80% of the bill. So the final bill was only 20% that I had to pay, and that worked out at £2,500. So that gives you a good idea of how much it's cost me so far. And you know, it's just a warning. That's where I'm at. My health is okay. I don't have any side effects apart from this heart failure, and we'll just have to see how I go on. But thanks for everyone that's been asking. I did mean to update people earlier, but I have been fighting this insurance claim, and I will keep everyone posted. Thanks again for watching the channel. I haven't got my new van yet. It's due before the end of the year. I hope I do get it by then. As soon as I get it, we'll be posting videos again. So for now, thanks very much for watching. Any comments, if you want to leave any comments, any questions, please do so, and I will answer every single one. Thanks again for watching. Cheers then. Bye.